Hello! I'd like to talk to you now about one of my favorite forms of Japanese art, namely the beautiful art that is seen on the porcelain sake cups produced through the Kutani kilns in Ishikawa, Japan. About 300 years ago, clay sufficient for making porcelain was discovered near the castle town of Kanazawa on the west coast of Japan. And the leader of that area, the daimyo of the region, quickly realized that he had a great opportunity here, not only to increase his wealth through the production of porcelain, but also his prestige. So he quickly set up kilns. He sponsored kilns to be set up in the region for porcelain production, and sent potters to different parts of Japan to refine their skills and to learn how to produce expert art to put on the porcelain pieces. Over the next 3 centuries, various styles were developed, and the beautiful Kutani art that we see today was the resulting output of that tradition. Today, one of the characteristics of Kutani art are beautiful colored images of traditional Japanese scenes, as well as religious scenes, as well as calligraphy that is found on the cups. The Kutani pieces are actually little known outside Japan, but very famous within the country. Here we have an example here, a beautiful small sake cup, and what I'm going to focus on now is the sake cups that are produced. Although Kutani art does include sake flasks, vases, as well as other items, but it's the cups in particular that I want to talk about now. This small sake cup is an excellent example of Kutani craftsmanship. We can find the Kutani mark here on the back of the cup. You can see here. The Kutani mark takes on various aspects depending on who the artist was and during the period, but this is a classic example of the Kutani art. It's 2 Chinese characters that are read in a Japanese reading. There's also a Chinese reading, but the Japanese reading is the common one, Kutani. The outside of the Kutani cups tend to be rather plain compared to the inside. They often have a white porcelain background upon which a blue motif will be painted. Typically a landscape scene such as we have here. You can see that there's some birds flying, what may be some boats in water, a little mountain in the background. Here we have a mountain with some trees. So the outside of the cup is very beautiful. It tells a story typically and is very nice to look at. But the real splendor of Kutani typically comes when you examine the inside of the cup. And let's flip it over and take a look. Here we go. What a beautiful cup. This particular painted image is a representation of Daikoku, who is one of the Shinto luck gods. Daikoku in particular is seen typically carrying his large treasure sack, which we can see he has before him here. And this is a very beautiful stylized image of Daikoku, a hand-painted image that really brings out the character of this very important Japanese Shinto luck god. The inside edge of the cup has a beautiful golden yellow background with flowers painted. Truly a very stunning and beautiful piece of art. Let's take a look at another one. Here's another beautiful cup. Again, we have a pretty subdued outer edge. We can see the Kutani mark painted here on the bottom. This is a footed bottom. It's a little hard to see. This cup's a little bit old and it has some darkened marks there which obscure the mark a little bit, but we can see it there nonetheless. On the inner surface, we have again a beautiful painted surface, beautiful abstract designs. There are 3 tomoe watermarks, which are traditional symbols of swirling water. They're considered omens of good luck as well as wards against the dangers of fire. You often see the tomoe marks on architecture on rooftops and the like. We can see a very beautiful edged here with hand-painted geographic designs. Very, very nice cup. Here's another cup here. Again, we see the landscape type of pattern on the outer surface. and a beautiful design on the inside. In this case, a happy horse and a cow looking over their shoulders at us. One of my favorite aspects of Kutani art is the fact that, it was specifically with regards to sake cups, is the fact that one can enjoy this art while one is enjoying sake. And we all know that after we've had a few cups of sake that we may wax a little poetic and become a little bit of a philosopher and may sit around and kind of think about the wonders of life. And what better way to do so than, well, enjoying the beautiful design on a small cup like this, and perhaps attempting to unlock the mystery of a poem which may be written on the side, such as with this cup. Here again we see the Kutani mark on the back. Upside down there we go. The blue pattern on the outer surface. And then on the inside, there's the image of a man in traditional garb. And along the edge here, Japanese hand-painted calligraphy. Very difficult to do. This is very small. Take a look at my finger there in comparison. It really took a steady hand to write this. Now, typically, most Japanese that you will meet, if you showed this cup to them, they would be utterly unable to make out this writing. It's very stylized and very difficult to read. Often, such writing uses old-style kanji characters, which are no longer in use as well, and makes it extra difficult to read. However, I like to think that after one's had a few rounds of sake, one can look at the picture, maybe enjoy the writing there and try to figure out what the purpose of the writing may be. Typically, the writing is either a poem or some verse that is significant in some way or historically famous. Another purpose of this colored inner surface is it helps one judge the quality of the sake that one is drinking. Typically, if the sake is very high quality and thus very clear, one will be able to view the image below without any noticeable distortion of the image. So the colored surface provides not only a beautiful background for art, but also gives us a way to measure the quality of the sake we're drinking. So altogether, Japanese Kutani porcelain is one of my favorite examples of Japanese traditional art, and the type of thing that is quite beautiful to collect and to enjoy at meal times and when having a nice time with your friends. Kutani items also do come in other forms, such as this beautiful saucer, or this cup here, ladle. This again typical Kutani with the Kutani mark on the underside. And in this case, a highly decorated outer surface showing groups of sages, perhaps wise men, all clustered together. And then in this case, a very plain interior with just a stylized decorative element inside. I hope you've enjoyed this brief tutorial on Japanese Kutani ceramics, and if you're someone who enjoys sake and Japanese art, and particularly ceramics, then maybe you'll consider beautiful Kutani ceramic sake cups, guinomi, as they're called in Japanese, for your collection. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you've enjoyed this information. Please contact us if you have any questions at all. Take care.